In the bustling streets of Boston during the early 1920s, a man named Charles Ponzi became the embodiment of the American dream, or so it seemed. With slicked back hair, an ever-present smile, and a silver tongue that could turn skeptics into believers, Ponzi promised his investors the impossible, a 50% return on their money in just 90 days. And for a brief, dazzling moment, the world believed him. Carlo Pietro Giovanni Guglielmo Tebaldo Ponzi was born in 1882 in Lugo, Italy. He grew up in a respectable but not wealthy family, and like many young men of his generation, he dreamed of opportunity abroad. In 1903, with just $2.50 in his pocket, Ponzi boarded a ship bound for the United States. He had big dreams, but little preparation. He knew no English, had no connections, and carried only ambition. At first, life in America was harsh. Ponzi worked menial jobs, washing dishes, waiting tables, and doing odd tasks just to survive. He often found himself broke, but his boundless optimism never faded. He watched the American financial system closely and became fascinated with how money seemed to multiply for those who knew how to play the game. Ponzi's turning point came in 1919 when he stumbled upon an obscure financial instrument known as the International Reply Coupon, IRC. These coupons were designed to make it easier to send international mail. For example, a person in the United States could purchase an IRC and mail it abroad, where it could be exchanged for local postage. But Ponzi noticed something unusual. Due to fluctuations in currency values after World War I, it was sometimes possible to buy IRCs cheaply in one country and redeem them for a higher value in another. To Ponzi, this seemed like a golden ticket. He claimed he could exploit these differences in value through a practice called arbitrage, earning enormous profits. In theory, his plan wasn't illegal, but in practice, it was impossible to scale. There simply weren't enough IRCs in circulation to generate the profits he promised. That didn't stop Ponzi from promoting his scheme. He founded the Securities Exchange Company in Boston and began selling investors on the idea. His pitch was irresistible. Give me your money and I'll double it in 3 months. In a nation still recovering from war and desperate for financial security, Ponzi's offer seemed like a miracle, and at first he delivered. Early investors received their promised returns not from actual profits, but from the money contributed by later investors. This cycle created an illusion of success. Word spread quickly, and crowds of eager investors lined up outside his office with cash in hand. Ponzi's operation grew at a staggering pace. In just 6 months, he collected more than $15 million, equivalent to over $200 million today. Clerks worked day and night counting stacks of bills. Ponzi himself basked in the glow of success, purchasing a mansion, luxury cars, and fine suits. The press adored him, calling him a financial wizard who had outsmarted the system. But behind the curtain, the entire scheme was rotten. Ponzi wasn't investing in IRCs at all. In fact, investigators later discovered that to fulfill all his promises, he would have needed 160 million IRCs, but only about 27,000 existed worldwide. The math didn't add up, and Ponzi knew it. Still, he clung to the hope that somehow, some way, he could keep the illusion alive. His downfall began when the press grew suspicious. In July 1920, the Boston Post ran a series of articles questioning the legitimacy of Ponzi's operation. Investors panicked, rushing to withdraw their funds. To calm the storm, Ponzi confidently invited reporters into his office, showing them stacks of cash to prove his solvency. The stunt worked temporarily, but regulators soon began digging deeper. By August 1920, federal and state investigators revealed the truth. Ponzi's empire was a sham. He was arrested and charged with mail fraud. In total, his investors lost around $20 million, an astronomical sum for the era. The collapse was spectacular. The man who had promised to make everyone rich was exposed as a fraud. Crowds who once cheered his genius now cursed his name. Many families lost their life savings, and the scandal shook public trust in financial institutions. Ponzi was sentenced to prison, serving several years before being deported back to Italy. But even in disgrace, his charm never faded. He once remarked, "Without malice, aforethought I had given to the world a new expression, a new way to describe trustful people," as in a Ponzi scheme. In Italy and later Brazil, he drifted through various failed ventures, never again reaching the heights or depths of his American fame. When he died in 1949, penniless in a charity hospital in Rio de Janeiro, only a handful of people attended his funeral, yet his name lived on. Today, nearly every fraudulent investment scam is branded a Ponzi scheme, a lasting testament to his infamous legacy. His story remains a cautionary tale of greed, gullibility, and the dangerous allure of too good to be true.